Welcome back, you gorgeous and beautiful people from the internet. My name is Manzi Crypto, and today we're going to cover a game on Mobox that is called Brawler. If you guys don't know what this is an NFT-based game where you can purchase some NFTs and earn a little bit faster mining rates here on Brawler. I want to talk to you guys about how this game actually works so that you guys can get a clearance on what you should do, what is expected from you inside this game. So when you start up the game for the very first time, you can select one of six people that you can select from. Now, one is this guy right here that I need to face next, and this is the Horde Warrior. I don't know how to see all of them, unfortunately. Let's just see over here. If I click on, okay, we can do it here on this talent tree. So if you scroll a little bit here around, I'll cover this very soon for you guys. If you can see over here that there's a Storm Ranger, there's a Shadow Assassin, and then there's the one that I play, which is the Arcane Witch. Then there's a Chainsaw Rose, Templar Monk, Horde Warrior. We'll find it very soon. There's one more, I think. Okay, no, that is all of them. So that is all of them that you can select from, and they do have different stats. For example, the Arcane Warrior is the most tanky one, and then the Chainsaw one is pretty much just as tanky. And then you have the Witch that I'm playing, which has mostly just damage and crit chance. So getting gear and stuff like that is very important to cater towards what hero you're playing. So that is something you have to keep in mind. Okay, so that is the first thing. Your hero selection is very important. And then after that becomes your skills, what is then very important. If you play something like I am right now, Arcane Mage, it is very important to buy things that will have a very good benefit from having crit damage and high high damage itself. If you play something that's a little bit more tanky, you might want to change it up and play something that has return damage, or every time you take a hit that you would heal your own teammates, and that comes down to the gear and abilities that you take. So you have to have a good combination with what you go for. I just went with pure damage, so I have 3 damage dealing abilities over here. I have the Gunfire Mercenary that I spawn, I have the Blood Spell, and then I have the Blood Storm. This is overtime damage, this is overtime damage, and this one is a single target, highest attack damage, one hit. So this will be my take out someone, and then these two is just to try and get them as low as possible for the Gunfire Slam to do its job. Then I'm running with 2 tanks over here, so I have Poison Blasting. It's just a tank, and then I have a Stormblade Strike, which is also just a tank. So this guy is my main tank right here. If you're facing me, this is the guy you'll attack, and like, what's it, 8 seconds in, this guy will slam also and reduce the healing effects of that target. So that's pretty nice. The other thing you can use is also a guy that will taunt. Your second tank can taunt then, and that will make him also a low health target for your healer, which is my last one that I use, for your healer to actually get some healing off. This, in my opinion, is the best healer in the game. So it heals 135% of the attack, and then he puts a buff on you for 2.5 seconds. Any damage that you take in that time, in 2.5 seconds, will actually become healing. So what makes this healer great is that he casts this 15 seconds in, and you can see over here that the big damages, this one is the smaller one, but there's a bigger damage one that will be 15-second casted in. So if you have this guy right here that I'm using right now, this one, it will stun people for 2 seconds. So the people who he stuns will be then in time to actually heal me instead of damage me. So there is benefits to having a decent combo. I highly recommend that you read up all the skills over here and decide what you want to go for. Unfortunately, there's no set guide to actually get you the best talents that you can. There's a few really good talents in here that I'm not playing or not using that I would recommend that you at least check out. There are really, really good talents inside the talent tree. Then the next thing I want to talk about skills is that the tanks and the healers, especially if you use this healer right here, is not worth leveling up. You can keep them on level 1 and you will reap the benefits as if they were level 20. It doesn't really matter. Just keep them at low level. However, damage does matter because if you don't do enough damage, you will not be able to complete the battle. If you do a battle over here, you will see that you have 90 seconds to beat the boss or to beat an enemy. If you don't beat the enemy within 90 seconds, you will immediately lose. Okay, the timer will run out and you will lose. So it's important that you have a very good amount of damage, at least catering towards the abilities that you want to achieve. Okay, so you have to keep that in mind. It is very important that you have a good combination with the abilities that you choose, or the skills that you choose, with the hero in combination with your set that you choose as well. Unfortunately, to craft a set, you will have to pay Mobucks. Okay, before we get to the set, let's just get to the mining point of things. Okay, so this is how my mining is set right now. I have 1070 hash power. So my mining is set like this, where I get what is this? I get 500 gold per 5 minutes. I get 2 gear pieces every 5 minutes, and I get 2 skill books every 5 minutes as well. So this is how I set mine. You can set yours any way you want to. It's just you want to maximize your gear and maximize your skill. And the only way you could do that is if you have enough hash power. You need at least 200 hash power to receive 1 gear and 1 skill book. I have over 1,000, so I can get 2 of each. I can go to 3 skill books if everything is on 0. Okay, so but this is the best way to do it, and this pretty much shows you as well, like if you have 1,000 hash, this is the better combination for you. Then there is levels. To level up your character, you have to click on the hero page and you click on this button right here. If you click on it right now, you can see that for me, I'm going to the Void Netherfield arena if I level up once more. And to know what that means is you go to the leaderboard over here and you can see I'm in Ice Desert. So on both ratings, on Dungeon and on Battle, this is just PvP and PvE. I'm both in Ice Desert, and the reason being is because I'm level 69. It's a good number. You know what I'm saying. So if you go to level 70, you'll go to the Void Netherfield. So you'll compete against people a little bit for more money, of course, for more Mobucks. But at the end of the day, you have to do your own calculations and own due diligence. My goodness. Whether it's worth going higher level or not. It really depends on how much Mobucks you're willing to spend in order to get the gear that you're looking for. Speaking of gear, to make gear you have to smelt them. So you just smelt all the gear that you can, and you'll get these things that is called smelt. These fire things that you see, you'll just keep breaking them into pieces until the smelt is gone. You get these smelt points over here, so if you go to Forge, you can select an item and select what level you want to go for. If you go for any level that is not according to ranking, you can do it for free. It will just cost you a little bit more. It will just cost you a little bit more Forge to do that. You also get weaker gear for doing that, but at least you can get on the leaderboard fairly cheap, if that makes any sense. However, if you do want the most superior gear, you can pay Mobucks and you can receive the gear that way as well. The rating will be higher. The sets will also be better. So if you're going to level 69, this is the only place that you can pretty much buy gear, because the cheaper gear you can go for is level 40, which costs 10,000 of the Forge just to craft one item. It's pretty expensive. So you have to do your own research as well about this, whether it's better for you to buy gear from the market. You can just click on exchange over here and then you can search the gear that you're looking for. I'm at advanced and I'm at pain and level 60. This is my gear set that I went for. Every gear has different sets. If you want to read them, you click on it and you click on the bottom here. So if you have 8 of these, you'll get an eternal bleeding. So for every enemy or mercenary killed, deal 300% burn damage to all enemies. The 300% is your attack damage. It's not the enemy's health. It is 300 attack of your attack damage. It just doesn't say that here. If it's 300 of the enemy health, you could one-shot the whole team. And then you have Final Blow as well. And it increases the damage dealt to enemies in after damage state by 50%. It is burn damage. It is overtime damage. That's why I have 2 out of the 6 abilities that I have is overtime. And it's because of this function right here, where the overtime damage is increased by 50%. That is why I have overtime damage as my main damage, to be honest. So you have to look for the gear as well. It's pretty easy and simple to just find the gear that you're looking for. If you go to Reap, you can just read up on this. They have Killer. For each successful kill, increase 40% damage. So every kill that you get, you'll do more damage. And then Bloodthirsty. After defeating an enemy, restores 60% of your health, which is really, really good. So this is purely Assassin. If you want to just be quick, you know, slap 1-2 people and then boom, you get a kill. This is definitely a very good set. But once again, I can't tell you what is good or bad, and it's because it depends on what you play, with what abilities, with what combination. It all comes down to that. Then there is more. So we covered melting already, we covered forging. Then there's refine over here. So you can refine items, items that you have. You can either refine them with your forge, with your smelt. You can either refine them with smelt or refine them with the Mobox. If you refine them with smelt, there's a chance that you actually go down. Everything is randomized. It's like you're making the item again. So this heal effect could go to, okay, it can't go lower than 10 because it is the lowest. But my crit, for example, can go to 10 and my HP can go to 800. So all these stats over here randomizes in between the brackets. It will not go higher unless you reforge and often enough until you get something that is a little bit better. You can actually do that. If you advance refine, it can only go up. It will only go higher. So this 21 crit could go to 30. And this HP that's 597 could go to 700. So yeah, that's just something you have to keep in mind. That is how refine works. You will also not be able to get more stats. You won't go, if I have armor break here, I won't get lifesteal added as well. It will not have an extra one. So it depends on the gear that you make from forging. You can make very bad gear where it only gives you 3 stats, but the best gear can give you 5 stats, just as an example. Then you have Intensify. Intensify is completely free until you get to level 4. So it costs you 1,000 Mobox and 1,000 smelt. But once you get to level 5 or level 4, to go to level 5 will cost you 5,000 gold, 5,000 smelt, and 3 Mobox. So once again, it will cost you money to make the gear better. And what Intensify does is it gives you every single item here gives a different stat. You can see that the weapon gives me crit, the shield gives me crit resistance, the chest gives me defensive, armor break, the gloves, the neck is giving me breakthrough, which is technically ignore armor, the enemy armor. Then you have resistance on the hat. The boots is giving you a miss chance or dodge chance. And then the ring gives you a hit chance. So you can also spend some Mobox to increase the gear over here. And then you have Recast. This is unfortunately something I haven't tried yet. What I assume what happens is that you put in 2 items here. And then like it has to be legendary items. But you put in 2 items here, and if you recast it, it will give you 1 random item. Okay. So let's say, for example, you forged 2 swords, but unfortunately, those 2 swords are still not the one suit that you need, right? You can preview the suits here. Let's say you forged these 2. You got reap and repeal, but you wanted pain. You can spend these 2 swords, and you can just recast it, and hopefully you get your sword again. Then there's advanced recast, where it takes 3 swords, but you can actually choose, or 3 items, right? 3 different items, but you can actually choose the one stat that you want. Okay, so if you put in 2, you'll get a random one. Advanced, you'll put in 3, but you can choose at least the one that you want, the set that you want. So there are benefits and there are negative. Some people will tell you it's better to sell the ones that you don't want and rather just keep crafting. I don't know what's better. You have to decide for yourself. Then there's a talent tree. This talent tree is going to take forever to cover. The best thing to do on every talent tree is to just scroll all the way to the right and look at the things over here that you could receive. Okay, I took this one. It increases my mercenary damage, increases my Euro bonus damage, increases mercenary damage, bonus damage, increase Euro bonus damage, okay? So all 3 of them over here is exactly the same things. It will just increase the damage of my Euro and then the mercenaries that I'm using as well. So in precise, again, the same thing. You scroll all the way to the right. You can see over here, after the Euro actively inflicts crit damage and 50% chance to deal 20% after damage, attack damage to all enemies for 2 seconds. So this one, if you crit, you have a 50% chance to deal 20% of attack damage to all enemies for 2 seconds. After the Euro actively inflicts crit damage and 50%, after the Euro actively inflicts crit damage, so it's again crit, and 50% chance to deal 30% of attack to enemy with the highest attack. So this one will do everyone on the field. This one will do only one, but it's 30% to the highest attack target for 2 seconds. So they're pretty much the same thing. It's just this one will only hit one guy, where this one will hit the whole team. Then over here, after the Euro actively inflicts crit damage and 25% to stun the enemy with the highest attack for 0.2 seconds. So it will just stun the guy with the highest attack. Then you have protect. I assume is return damage. After the Euro resist damage and 50% chance to deal 14% after attack damage to all enemies for 1 second. So again, you could just read up all of this, and you have to find something that is going to suit you for what you want to achieve, okay? Pretty much is how it works. It is very simple. Just go scroll all the way to the right. Speedy, it might be something that you love, right? Then you just go into that. I don't think there's one that's going to be way more superior than the other. It really just depends on what you want to play. Okay, so we covered the whole hero. We covered the whole skill. Exchange is pretty simple. It's just where you buy or sell items. If you want to sell something, you click on available, you click on the item, you put in the MoBox that you want to receive for that item, and then you put it on the market. Once it's on the market, it will only be there for 48 hours. You can cancel at any time you wish to put in a different price or something like that. When you purchase an item, it will be falling over receivable, and you just claim it, and the item is in your inventory. Listed will only show the items that you are selling. There'll be a list over here showing how much it is that you're asking for it, and yeah, if someone buys it, you can if someone buys it, you can just click on claim. Okay. Also, if the timer runs out, you can just click on claim and put in a different price. So we covered mining as well. How you get hash power is obviously outside of the game in Mobox itself. You can see also your momos over here. This is the momos that will be used to farm you some of these hash powers. And then there's a little bit benefits over here as well. So if you click on each momo, you can see that these that there is 4 empty boxes, and that is called rubies, I think. Where you put in rubies outside of the game. I'll show you guys hopefully before I end it. Yeah, it's called ruby, emerald, sapphire, and topaz. So it's called gems. I'm sorry about that. So if you have a 1-star gem on each slot, you'll be getting these stats. If you have a 9, you'll be getting these stats. And this is the stats you'll get inside the game itself. Okay, so you can have 20 guys like this, and it will be very beneficial if you have level 9 gems on all of them. Plus 300 crit, plus 30 attack, 30% attack, plus 30% health. Okay, I don't know if it's just one. The gems inlaid on Momo have attribute bonuses to euros. For each type of gem, only the first 5 gems ranking with the highest level to low have bonuses. In my Momo interface, the Momo that has the gem bonus will be displayed with a gem icon. Okay, so it seems that it will only be 5 in total. 5 Momos in total will have benefits like this. The attribute bonus of various gems for each level are as follows. Okay, so we just showed you guys that. What is this though? Ah, it shows the hashing power. So it shows that I have 900 hash power because of this, and we unfortunately don't have any bonuses over here. That is pretty nice. Then on battle, this is purely PvP. If you click on match, you can just search for someone that is roughly about your skill level or battle power level or something like that. You click on their name and you're gonna fight against them. It's pretty much that simple how it's gonna work. If you win, you get some crowns, which will rank you higher in the list when it comes to rewards at the end of each season. So yeah, we can pretty much watch the whole fight, and you can just see like how my skills work, and you can see how much I'm healing and then taking damage and stuff like that. However, I'm way higher battle power than this guy over here. You can see that my guy was healing instead of taking damage. And it's because we had that heal effect on from my healer, my level 1 healer. This thing right here. And there you go. Game over. So this means that this guy lost 30 crowns and I just gained 29 crowns. So I'll be ranked a little bit higher now in PvP. Then you have task over here. I highly recommend that you finish like I have, at least as many tasks as possible. The smelting legendary one is technically not worth it. It will cost you way too much smelt to get this thing, and unless you're like hunting gold or hunting a lot of books, then it might be worth. Other than that, I would not recommend going for the final one. Then you have mail here. At the end of each season, you'll receive a mail showing which rank you were, if you did receive any Mobox. Also, if you have these guys at sweeping, at the end of each season, you will receive that also on a mail, and it will be instantly laying at the top right here as Mobox rewards. Then you have rent. I would highly recommend that you do not rent out any of your Momos unless you are not willing to play the game at all. Then I would recommend that you rent out Momos. So do not lend or rent out Momos. You can rent yourself if you want to. You can go and lend from other people, but I do not recommend that you would lend yours out to someone. Then you have dungeon. This is purely PvE. This is fighting against AI or fighting against the bots. And obviously, the higher you rank over here, the higher you'll also rank in the leaderboard. So then you have normal Momo, sweeping. I did cover this in the previous video of Momos, but you can put in your Momos over here if you go to Momo setting. Only put in level 1 people here inside the normal Momo sweep. And if you have Momos that are leveled, you put them in the high level Momo sweep. And you'll just receive a little bit more Mobox per day if you do that. So it's a pretty nice function. Highly recommend doing it if you do have mining power. Then over here you can plan to set up your abilities or your gear that you'll be using against this guy. Or you could do that also on the hero tab itself, which I recommend. It's a little bit easier to do it there. Then you have an order challenge function. And that is where you're going to just fight against the bot. You will always have the same stats, the same abilities, the same everything. So if there's someone that you are stuck against, like I am right now, I'm stuck on this guy for pretty much a day now. You might want to change up your gear or your guys that you use and stuff like that to make it a little bit better for yourself. Also, while the fight is going on, there is a skip button over here. You can get a 2x speed to make it a little bit faster. You also have a skip button to skip the fight. That's what I just did there. And then finally, there's a leaderboard that shows you rankings. You can see the battle at the top, that is PvP, and then you have PvE over here. It depends on who goes the furthest, who gets the most points, and that's pretty much just how it works. The other thing that's also nice here over here is daily rewards. So if you click on that, you get some daily rewards. It's just a little bit of extra gold and extra books for you that will help you potentially in the long run. It's not that big of a deal, to be honest, but you get some rewards for being in the top 200 every single day. Maybe just to keep you in the top 200, if that makes sense. So obviously, the higher you rank, if you go to level 70, for example, you can go all the way up to level 89 to have the next benefit over here, which is called Void Nether. Then you can compete against these guys, or you can go to Arena Legends, which is level 90 to 100. So it depends on you, what you want to achieve, where you're going to end up, for example. If you are someone that doesn't want to spend anything on this game, I recommend staying away from this because you would not rank anywhere on this leaderboard right here. But yeah, that is the game. I think I need to show you guys something in the Momo Farmer. I just can't remember what it was. There's the gems that I was talking about that you can input and that you receive a little bit more stats, whether it's more health, more crit, or anything like that. Then also you can go to the market and lend, Momo lending. You can see I have one Momo here that I lent it out for an insanely cheap price for a month, so I'm not happy about that. But you can also lend other people's Momos if you do want to do that. So yeah, that is also pretty nice. Yeah, I think I covered everything. I can't remember what I needed to show you guys, unfortunately. But yeah, I think we covered everything that we need to. This video is already long by itself, so if there's any questions about this game, please feel free to ask me in the comment section below. I will cover it as best as I possibly can. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, smash a like, subscribe to the channel. Also hit the bell. Make sure that you have the bell activated, because if you don't, you're technically not subscribed to the channel. So yeah, thanks for watching guys. I'll see you in the next one. Love you guys, take care, and as always, remember to twist some nips. Cheerios, bye bye.